Hi Merkin, I'm home. What has been going on here? I'm going to pretend I didn't see this. Hello, here we are on week 2 of June Mage Rage. And this week I've picked spells really to try out a combination of using slowness against mobs and then meleeing them with my trident. That's the main aim of this week. So let's see what we're collecting. Okay, 1 jack-o'-lantern, some brown stained glass, purple wool, a lectern, 32 azure bluets, a target, a stripped acacia log, chiselled deep slate, and finally tough. Okay, I'm having a quick look around before I start, just to see if there's anything visible from up here on the tree. I'm thinking about those flowers, the azure bluets. I've stopped and came out of game to look up various things that weren't obvious to me. And I did look up where you can find azure bluets, and it seems as though they're almost everywhere. Okay, so I'm heading over towards this plains, but I haven't really done anything yet, so I haven't collected my wood or stone, so I'm coasting down to this big tree on the edge of a ravine. So I thought, well, that would be a handy place to get things from. Yes, notice that I've not got telekinesis this week, so I'm mining the logs, and the pigs love my wand, of course. But I'm forgetting to collect any food. In fact, it seems it's a funny theme of this week that I just don't get any food for the first half of the entire run. This is in 2 episodes, and I've sped it up as usual, just very slightly, up to something like 1 1/3 speed, just to help it zip along a little bit, and so it doesn't drag so much as full slowness. Normal speed 1. I'm a bit disturbed because I'm hearing a skeleton. Disturbed and also interested, because one of the things, well, as I said, that I really want to try out is to, if especially skeletons, but any mobs, once I see a mob, I want to hit the floor with the slowness spell, and then that should block any projectiles as well as holding the mob more or less in place. So I should be able to go over there and melee them with my trident. I can also throw my trident at them, but that's less of a, I've realised that it does not delete the trident. That isn't a projectile that it will delete. But it's kind of, it's going to be faster to melee them with the trident, I think. Right, so I was a bit confused by what was going on here, because I thought it was through that wall that we were hearing the skeleton, but it obviously can't be quite through there, because when I tried to get the coal, it let the water through, and it's completely the bottom of the lake next door to me. Yeah, so it's kind of slowing me down a little bit. One thing I've badly missed here is I'm thinking that I don't need any iron at all, whereas in fact I do need just a couple of pieces. because I need to make some shears, because otherwise I will not be able to make a jack-o'-lantern, because that needs a carved pumpkin. You can't do that with any of your spells. And I've only picked up, incidentally, one piece of iron while I was doing all of that work in the bottom of the ravine. So off we go into the field. I'm looking at sheep and completely forgetting that, yes, sheep are one of the things that I would like to get. Well, a piece of wool that I can dye purple. I'm checking flowers. I think I'm doing my usual thing of being completely narrow-minded, and I'm thinking, oh, azure bluets, and then I've seen those pumpkins, and I'm suddenly thinking pumpkins, and yeah, okay, I've kind of recovered my sanity for a moment, and when I saw the red and blue flowers, I thought enough to be able to combine them together to make purple dye, which I need for the purple wool. But the sheep are just over there next to me, and I've missed them. Right, at this moment, the other thing that I've suddenly realised is what I was talking about a moment ago, that I need a second piece of iron to make the shears with. So down I go, back into the ravine. Luckily I haven't gone very far, so I can just hop back into here, and there's not much time lost at all, really. So it's not worth making a big deal about, I don't think. It's lost me a few seconds, which isn't really that significant in terms of the entire run, is it? Okay, so I think this is another thing where I'm inclined to be a bit slower when I'm not commentating. When I'm commentating, I'm aware that I'm putting something together for people to watch, and I hate to ever delay to start thinking about your cooking things and and crafting. I'm usually on the move at all times, and only finally craft once I've got lots of things. But when I'm playing without commentating, that impulse to be entertaining in inverted commas doesn't occur to me, and I just play slowly. Right, okay, so that's my first item on the board. I've managed to get my purple wool, and I've gone up in the air, and whoa, amazingly I didn't die there. I think I hit levitation before I hit the ground, and otherwise I would have gone splat and back to spawn, which isn't that far away, to be honest. Right, well, I've my first bit of exploring, and I've found the savannah, so I'm taking down these bits of acacia wood, but I'm kind of forgetting that all I need is one log to strip, and I'm thinking it might be wood, in which case I would need to have 4 of them, so I'm making sure I collected 4. So it's, yeah, again, little inefficiencies are irritating to me when I look at it all for a second time when I'm applying the post commentary. But okay, so I've landed on the roof, and I'm trying to see whether I can do the slowness trick, but you can't really do it from the roof because I'm not going to be able to melee them. So, and I'm also discovering that once you've cast slowness and caught yourself within it, you can't levitate to take off again until it's gone away. So that was all a little bit of a waste of time and a bit painful experience. Right, and I also didn't do anything that I should have been doing while I was stopped in the village. And there's one thing that I really could have done with collecting is hay bales, because I need 1 for my target, and I could have, oops, landed in a tree, and there was a endermite up there already. You get more endermites than normal in Mage Rage now, and that's one of the places they can spawn. But anyway, yes, so target and food I could have been getting those hay bales for. But I've stopped in a nearby tree, and that's my second item done, is the jack-o'-lantern. I'm not very far with my collection of azure bluets. Do you say it bluet, or do you pronounce it the French way and sort of say bluet? I don't know. In my mind, it's bluet. A target. I'm now realising that I need to make a target. Look, hay bale. Right. Okay. I should have gone back at this moment. Okay, there's lots already I can throw away. Well, no, there's a couple of things already I can throw away. You see there's been a white dragon around here because there's ice laying around in the trees. Could do with some ice as I'm commentating this. It's the hottest day of the year, and certainly for mild weathered little UK, it's very hot for us. It's up to about 30 Celsius, which is about, was it 84 Fahrenheit? And I know that's nothing compared to most other parts of the world, but this is England, for goodness sake. Right, well, I've spotted the jungle, and it's even a jungle temple, look. And as night has fallen, I'm going over here, but why did I not go back to the village? I honestly don't know what's going on in my head sometimes, but so I think the theme of this week's run is going backwards and forwards and having to continually go back again to recollect something that I should have collected the first time I was there. Anyway, I'm in the jungle now, and what I'm doing here is I'm after cocoa. So I want brown dye, and I'm looking at all the trees to see if I can spot any. You see, it's still in my mind that I want to use slowness on mobs, but at the moment there's no point in using slowness on something that's just sat down there at the bottom of a tree, can't possibly get to me. But it gives me a moment to do a bit of target practice with my trident. I wonder if that's why Ed made us collect a made us make a target, is to remind us that we need target practice. Right, jumping from tree to tree. But, of course, the real thing I need is to spot some cocoa beans in the trees. He can't get to you either. Need a bit more target practice. Okay. Die, zombie, die. I finally decided to ignore the second one and not bother killing him. Now, is this... Yes, that is cocoa bean. So can I float down there before someone kills me and grab that? Yes, I've got what I needed, but let's get a second one just in case. I don't know what the just in case is about. There's various things after me. There's someone's shooting at me. There's an endermite. Yeah, I run into the jungle temple and hit the ground with slowness. And maybe this is the first time I've used this properly. There we go. Ow. A little endermite got through to me. Oh, there were two of them. Right. Okay, calm down a moment. Right, you've got revealing and you haven't used it yet. So let's light the place up and have a look around. Alright, now one of the main purposes about being in a jungle temple is you can have a look and see if there's anything useful in the treasure, and while I've broken through to it, I've realised I've just picked up a bit of redstone dust, and that was something that I absolutely needed. Look, there you go, I've got a couple more bits. I've got all the redstone dust I needed. I've got a zombie on top of my head as well. Didn't have time to hit the slowness spell that time. Now the chests are particularly useless in this jungle temple. Nothing good in them at all, but I've managed to pick up the redstone dust, and that is a positive. Right, okay. So, anything else here? I've actually used my healing spell as well, so I think that's pretty much all of my spells that I've used now. Get out of town! Right, let's get out of here. I don't think there's anything else I need in there. So I'm out, and I'm thinking ahead. I'm thinking I've got to make some glass, so can I get 8 pieces of sand? And that should be enough, and that should allow me to go up to a treetop, my preferred location. Look at all the cocoa that's visible over this side. if I'd only hopped out of there, if I'd looked back across the river when I landed, I wouldn't have needed to go searching through the jungle at all. Right, so let's calm down. On a treetop, cook up the sand into 8 pieces of glass. I can make the cocoa beans into brown dye. I can dye the glass. So things are all looking okay. I'm now calming myself down and clearing my inventory. Good. I've got to wait a while. I've only got 1 furnace this week. I could have made a second one. I've got enough cobblestone. I'll make the brown dye ready, but I'm definitely sitting and waiting for the 8 to cook. Was it 10 seconds each? 80 seconds? Yeah, just over a minute. It feels like a lifetime when you're in the middle of a time-based challenge. Okay, 1 more piece to cook. I wonder what that dot was up in the sky over there. Just an erratic piece of land that's generated up there. Was a single block in the sky. 3 items collected, and that's the brown stained glass. Now, I surely can make a lectern. Oh, no, I can't, because I need to have bookshelves, and that means either finding a bookshelf or books somewhere, perhaps in that village, if you'd only been looking through the village, or getting hold of sugarcane and some leather and making it yourself. But I'm on my way back to the village. Now, I don't know whether I'm going back here to search the houses for books or bookshelves. That would be useful, wouldn't it? But I certainly ought to be going back here to get some hay bales. Right, down we descend. Right near the hay bales, so that's a good thing. Yes, I've remembered that much anyway. Jump down here, and you can collect some of that, and you've got plenty. You've got enough to make your target, and also you can make some into food as well. So I'll stop quietly in this house. I realise how often I do this. I collect something, and then I just go, safe place. I want to go somewhere quiet to make the next thing. So that's the 4th item to target is made. And I've actually got some food at last. Look, how far into the game? Over 20 minutes, I think. I'm on to the next day, so the sun has risen. And I haven't eaten up till now. I'm getting a little hungry, but of course I was able to heal myself with the healing spell. Now, hop up to a top of a high roof and throw things out, and hopefully don't throw out anything that you really, really need. But yes, you can throw those things out and then be ready to get on with the next part of the job. I think probably it's going to be, there's a cow looking at me, so I will, oh no, right, first I've actually got the acacia log, which I hadn't stripped yet, and so that's my 5th item collected. And now finally I will look at getting some leather, getting some sugarcane, and making the lectern, which will be my 6th. But I'm not there yet. Right, Okay, so I'm levitating the cows. A strange countryside pastime. But I haven't got enough leather yet. But yes, I have now. So that's enough. That's all I needed. And now I need to fly off and look for sugarcane. But that will be in the next episode, because I think that's all we've got time for in episode number 1. See you next time. Bye bye.